Hello, everyone. My name is Mrs. Malone, and I'm the Early Years Leader here at Leavesden Green. I'm joining you from one of our brilliant Early Years classrooms. This is Explorer class. And before I get started telling you all about our wonderful early years, I wanted to first of all share with you my little basket of me. I thought it was important that you got to know me a little bit before we get the chance to get to know you before starting in our wonderful school. So this is the first thing I want to share with you. This is a book, which is my favourite thing to do, which is read by myself with my children at home, or my absolute favourite is reading with you children in school. So I cannot wait to share a story with you. Reading is my favourite thing to do. I've also got my chimp. I'm going to come back to him in a little bit. But you want to say hello. Chocolate and a tea bag, because a cup of tea and a bar of chocolate is one of my favourite treats. I've got a shell and a pebble, which I collected on one of my favourite things to do, which is to go for a walk. I love to go on adventures in woods or beaches, nice long walks. I enjoy being outside and seeing what we can find. So these things show my adventurous side. And then I've finally got some pictures. And these are two members of my family. This is Isla and Finn. They're my children. And they're an important part of me too. So those are the things I wanted to share with you, so you can know a little bit about me before I tell you all about our wonderful early years. So welcome to our early years. Our intention as an early years is to develop independent, brave, considerate learners who learn through exploration and investigation. Your child has already started their learning journey, whether that be with us in our nursery or starting in our nursery or wherever they've been before. From the moment they were born, they started to develop the skills that were going to help them in their life to be successful learners. But we know we are an important step in that journey. And the first step, potentially, in their formal education. We also want to be the people that light the spark in their learning, that make them excited. Those are our goals as an early years. We follow the characteristics of effective learners, which promote learning through play and exploring, as you can see on the slide. Also actively learning, being motivated to be part of it rather than your children feeling that it's something that happens to them. And finally, we promote critical thinking, which is how we want our children to think. We want them to have their own ideas and make links between something that they know and something they're finding out. And most importantly, make choices. Now, I've already shown you my chimp, and Mrs. Lyon has introduced you to our umbrella words. As a school, we believe that we want our children to develop as successful learners academically, but also socially and emotionally. We want them to be resilient and kind and responsible and resourceful. So we create this language of umbrella words that encompasses everything we do. But we also are mindful that our children go on an emotional journey through their time with us. And there are times when they face challenges and times when they face brilliant moments. And all the time, we need to be looking to support them. The strategy we use is the CHIMP model, which was created by a psychologist called Steve Peters. And it is a book that you can buy and read. And the approach that we talk to the children about is that in their brain, they have a part of their brain which we call the chimp brain. And it's called the chimp brain because it's very similar to a chimpanzee's. It's emotional, it's reactive, which can be brilliant when we get excited or happy, but it can be tricky when we feel sad or angry. And our chimp doesn't think in the same way that our human brain does, which is also a part of our brain that we talk to our children about. So we need to learn to work the two parts of the brain together. Now, this is something we use to underpin our learning with weekly assemblies and discussions with our children. So it's also something that we'll support you with. And there will be videos and information that you can learn so that you can utilise this strategy at home. We use the Hidden Chimp book, which is all to do with helping children to learn to manage their chimp. You can't control, because you can't control how you feel and your feelings, but you can manage your feelings and manage your reactions, which is what we aim to. There's been an adapted version of the adult book called My Hidden Chimp, which we use to structure our approach to delivering this to children. Our early years curriculum covers everything that your children learn. And our early years curriculum covers knowledge, but it also covers the independent skills of being able to manage themselves in a classroom, being able to get themselves ready for phonics by getting their board and their pen. Our early years curriculum covers every learning moment that your child has. We have the prime areas of communication, language, physical development, and personal social, because those are the keys foundations that will help them be successful learners. Have the words and the physical skill and the emotional flexibility to be able to manage situations. Underpinning all of this is our specific areas, which is literacy, maths, understanding the world, and special arts and design. And that covers the content of what we teach. Our approach is to give children the skills and knowledge that will help them to make effective choices in their learning. So an example of how we would approach learning, as opposed to a more closed procedure learning, would be here. So our approach to learning is that children make choices. This approach to learning was every child was taught how to make a car. And every child did. So they had the skills and the knowledge, but they didn't have the choice about how they did it. We would aim to give our children the skills and knowledge, the skills to build and create, and the knowledge of vehicles that they can apply it, but then the openness to choose what their vehicle would look like. Does it have big wheels? Why are big wheels better than small wheels? Is it going to have windows? Why do vehicles need windows? So this is what we want to develop in our learners, the independence to make choice, but most importantly, the knowledge and skills to inform those choices. Learning outdoors is very important to us as a setting. Learning outdoors has countless benefits for learners, and we ask you to support us with this by making sure your child is prepared to learn every day. If it's a wet day, they have a raincoat. We encourage leaving wellies, so they always have a pair of wellies, sun hats for the summer, warm coats for the winter, because we offer outdoor space all year round. There is no better experience than being outside when it's raining. We obviously manage this safely. We don't want our children getting soaked through, but we also don't want to limit their experience to the outdoors to when the weather is just fine and easy. We also encourage messy play. Now, messy play is important. It's a sensory experience, it's exploration. When you're trying to explore pouring, you're going to spill. When you're in a mud kitchen trying to make a mud pie, there's going to be an element of mess. We want our children to explore the outdoors as comfortably as they explore the indoors. We do encourage apron wearing, and we do encourage consideration when exploring. But there are times when our children are fully engaged. So we would give a warning that our curriculum supports children learning, and learning can be messy. It might be that your child's top comes in looking like this and it doesn't leave looking quite like this. And that is a reflection of a brilliant learning day. If there's grass stains, they've been exploring the outside. If there's mud, they might have been in our mud kitchen. If there's small amounts of paint, it's because they've been exploring the impact of mixing colours. So although, like I said, we encourage our children to wear aprons and we teach them to use the resources in a considerate way, please be mindful that uniform is there to help them learn. It's part of their learning experience. And that is something that we would support them with, making good choices, but it's very tricky to manage. There may be days when the uniform gets a little bit messy. Reading is a key part of our early years. It's a key part of our school, and it's a key part of learning. Reading is the key to all learning. Reading develops language and well-being. Reading also helps piece together the pieces of learning. Reading is all to do with taking in information and finding meaning in it, which is what learning is. So we prioritise reading in our early years setting. For you at this moment, what we would ask you to do to support us with preparing your child for the formal learning of reading is to read to them. Read them a range of books. Read them their favourite books again and again. Read them new books every now and again. Read them information books, but also find opportunities for purposeful reading. Don't think because they can't read it, they shouldn't see it. Show them the shopping list and show them how a shopping list works. Show them the instructions. Look at maps. Look at recipes before you bake. When you go to the zoo, show them the signs and ask them what they think it says. Because we want them to see themselves as a reader before they develop the skills of reading formally, decoding words. At the moment, we know some of you very well. We do not know some of you at all. And our goal for our early years is it reflects the unique learners within our setting. So it's very important that we fill this blank space with lots of knowledge about you as a family and your child. So to help us do this, we provide home visits. Now, normally these would happen this side of the summer, but we think it's safest at this moment with the current situations to do these in September. This will involve your child's class teacher and LSA visiting you at home for about 20 minutes. Now, the reason we do these is we want your child to meet us in their most comfortable setting and environment, which is their home. Some children, we know, we've done many of these, feel a little bit overwhelmed in the experience, but generally seeing their teacher and seeing you talking to them really eases any anxieties about meeting this first person. So these are very important. And there are things you can do to support it, telling your child it's happening, planning things that they might want to show their teacher. But most importantly, this is just a chat. Your teacher and LSA will come and talk about your child and talk to you and just get to know you and start putting together the pieces of the puzzle that's going to help us plan for them to learn. We also offer open sessions, which are vital your child attends. It gives them an opportunity to experience first in a small group. So the first time they come into their classroom, the first time they play with children in their class, the first time you leave them, and get some of those firsts out the way before their first day of school. We say that for the second session, for you to leave them completely, just drop them at the door and then pick them up. For the first session, you can attend with them. However, we would only say do this if you think it would benefit your child. And we do try to encourage you to try and leave for a little bit of that first session for them to get used to the idea of you leaving, but also you coming back. Because often children that have that anxiety, it's building the trust that they know that that's a repeated thing that's going to happen. Now, parents as partners is something we constantly look to develop our partnerships with you, because as you can see, the number 635 is how many hours your child would be in school with us. And the bottom number is how much time they spend at home. We fill every single one of those hours with learning and opportunities to develop them as learners and people. And we know that when you're at home, you offer so much care and nurture. So what we need to do is bridge the gap between the two of us so that we can all work together to support your learner to be as successful as they can. So some of the things we do to offer this is reading webinars, which will happen early on in September, and I would really encourage you to attend. I will talk through how we approach phonics and early reading and give lots of tips about how you can support that at home. We're also hoping to offer stay and plays and come and join phonics sessions and come and join learning opportunities and also home learning, which I'm going to leave to the teachers to explain further. We also will be providing a getting to know you. We also ask you, to provide a getting to know you box. So I shared my box of me with you. And we just want the children to do the same, to fill a box, a shoe box or a cardboard box. You might want to decorate it with pictures and things about you and just fill it with things that tell us about you. Now, these might be nice to have for your home visits because they can share the items in their box, but we would ask you to bring these in September so that they can share them with their class. And it's a really nice opportunity for children to learn about each other, but also see similarities between their boxes. Your next steps. Make sure you come and collect your pack so that you've got all the information that you need. Also, watch the follow-up videos that will be coming next week from our teachers and let us know if you have any questions. Starting school feels big and it creates big feelings. And the best way to help those feelings is information and feeling ready. So anything we can do to help you feel ready so that you can support your child feel ready, we want to do. So please don't feel like there's any silly questions or any silly communication. We are here and we are more than happy to talk you through anything we can. It has been a pleasure to talk you through all of this. I'm really excited to meet you all in person. It's a shame this has happened from a distance. But hopefully this has been helpful. Please do look out for the following videos and thank you so much for your time. I'll see you soon. Bye.